fix them. Julie, these holdups and murders have got to be stopped. And the only way to end it is to run Rand and Ludlow out of town. Why, these terrible things never happened. We opened up that saloon and filled it up with a lot of cattle-rustling murderers.
What can be done about it, Rufus?
Hello, Mr. Corbett.
John, that's what I'm going to do about it. I'll get those out just as fast as I can run them off the press.
But, Dad, aren't you afraid? What do you think, Mr. Corbett?
Well, the thing is, Rufus, how are you going to prove this against Rand and Ludlow? Weren't you alone with Parsons when he identified the men?
Yep.
That's just it. Mike Parsons was afraid himself. Afraid to involve anyone. Why, Dad had to drag it out of him before he died.
I'll prove it some way before I'm through. I'm getting out this edition for morning delivery.
But, Dad, you can't fight them alone.
This is pretty risky business, Rufus.
You'll stand behind me on this fight, won't you, John? Why, you put Gold Creek on the map. Would you mind? You don't want to see it wiped off by a no-good saloon keeper and gang leader, do you?
Of course I don't. You know you can count on me. I was only thinking about your safety.
Oh, Dad, they may kill you.
Not with that staring them in the face. Read it, honey.
And, folks, if you find your editor murdered for fighting for decency, law, and order, you know who did it. The Rand Ludlow gang.
You see, they wouldn't dare.
Yes, I guess they'd be too smart for that.
John, I've often wondered why they haven't never bothered you about your gold shipments.
They're afraid to, Rufus, that's why. I've got too many guards, both in my mines and on the freighters.
Yeah.
Ray's out front, Dad. Looks like he's ready to leave.
Where's young Mason going?
Up to Midas mine. Took a job to haul their high grade. Got to wish him luck. Be back in a minute.
I'll see you in about a week, honey, when I come through with my first load.
You will be careful.
Oh, stop worrying, honey. If anybody can outsmart those bandits, it's Ray. Right, son?
Well, I'll do my darndest. I figure the brakes will all be on my side since I'm going to take Eagle's Pass instead of the regular route.
That's a dangerous job you're taking on for the Midas, Ray.
Maybe, but I couldn't afford to pass up that bonus for getting the high grade through, Mr. Corbett. Julie and I'll need it. Sort of start in housekeeping when we get married next month.
Yes, I know how it is. Well, good luck, son.
Thanks. Well, I better shove off. Take me about 3 days to get up there.
Goodbye.
See you in about a week, son.
So long.
If we had more young men in this town like him, we'd probably lick our troubles in short order.
You said it. But wait till I get my edition out tonight and the people read it in the morning. Then I'll bet we get some action. Well, gotta get busy, John. See you later.
And I've got to get up the mine.
Don't forget you're coming to dinner tonight.
I won't.
Blasting our names in print.
Well, what of it? They can't hang you for that. Ever since the main vein feeded out of this mine here, you fellas have been doing a great job. Stealing high grade and getting it up here for me to ship out as my own. Well, you're gonna keep right on. And no fogey like Rufus Tood is gonna bluff us out of it.
Yeah, but Rand and I still do all the dirty work and take all the chances. While you go on being Gold Creek's leading citizen and benefactor.
Well, you've been getting your cut, haven't you, Rand?
And our name's in the newspaper. Todd was smart enough to fix it up so we wouldn't dare bump him off.
But supposing he didn't have a press to print any more of that stuff? And what if the rest of this edition isn't there when he goes to dish it out in the morning? The people wouldn't know so much, would they?
You mean blow it up?
You figure it out.
We will. But I think we ought to lay off sticking those miners up for their high grade for a couple of days and ship out some of this rock.
That's all right. But next week, we're going to tackle another Midas shipment. Ray Mason went up today for the job of hauling it. I happened to overhear him say he's going to outsmart us by taking Eagle's Pass.
That'll be a cinch.
You fellas wait till I get down the hill.
By the way, there's likely to be a big blow-off at Todd's newspaper tonight.
Yeah, ought to be quite a show. Come on, then. a fine supper, Julie.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Corbett.
John, don't be in a hurry. Sit around and chat a little while.
No, I got some business to take care of.
Well, you don't have to hurry.
Dad, they've ruined everything.
Everything. But they can't stop me from using my head, or writing, or talking. I'm going to get the federal law in this town. I'm going to Mesa City and send a telegram to Buck Roberts.
Mason, all right.
Come on. Want to hear something for your own good, turn around and follow me. Boys, just a minute. I want your attention. You all know that about a week ago they blew up my newspaper just to shut me up. But they can't stop me from writing, and they can't stop me from talking. In just a minute, you're going to know why I'm going to start writing here. There's a lot of things you boys don't realize, because I couldn't get out my regular edition.
Where's Rand?
I'm talking to Corbett.
You'd better come out and take a look at what's going on. Todd's back in town.
In the edition they blew up on me, I was telling you boys that my Parsons, before he died, identified the men who stole his high grade, and killed him. Why, he died in my house. While he was dying, he said it.
What do you think you're doing? Get out of here.
Why should he?
He hasn't finished what he has to say. But he ain't going to say it in here, stranger.
Why not? A man's pulpit is wherever he chooses to make it. When he's walking in the path of righteousness.
Well, what do you know? A preacher.
That's right.
You better take your psalm singing outside, Sky Pilot, before you get hurt. It's for you.
Said he's going to finish what he has to say. And you're going to listen. So will all the rest of you. Now get over there.
Thank you, Parson.
Don't mention it, my friend. Now proceed.
As Mike was dying, he said...
Stand over there.
What's going on here? Who is this? He's a Sky Pilot.
Yes, but I'm not preaching today. I'm presiding. This man here's doing the talking. So you can just get over in that pew with the rest of your friends.
What do you mean, stranger? I own this place.
Oh, is that so? And I'm sure my old friend here would be obliged for the use of the premises. Well, he's waiting for an invitation.
All right, Todd. Get those feeble-minded ideas off your chest.
What I was going to say, Parson said it was Rand and Ludlow's men. They stole his high-grade ore and then fired the shot that finally killed him.
That's what you say. Was there anybody else there to hear it? Yeah, can you prove that pipe dream?
Not yet. But I will, as soon as I put some fighting spirit into the people of this town before you kill the rest of them.
Drink up. This may look even funnier than it is.
All right, continue, my friend. Nobody's going to drink. Nobody's going to laugh. They're all going to listen and like it.
Now listen, boys.
Ooh. Good morning, madam.
Good morning.
And when we start house cleaning, we'll have plenty of help, because I sent for the federal law. That's why I was away a few days. You two can kill our sheriffs as fast as we get them. But when you tangle with a United States Marshal, especially the one I sent for, you've met your Waterloo. And I don't mean maybe. And that's all I've got to say for now. Parson, let's go out where we can breathe some clean air.
Judging from that fine speech, this town could do with a little religion as well as law and order. So I'm staying. When I found a suitable location for a church, I'll let you know.
What do you mean you'll let me know?
You're going to help build it.
I think a church a fine idea for Gold Creek, Parson. I'd like to make a sizable contribution myself.
Parson, this is my friend, John Corbett, owner of the Corbett mine.
Well, how do you do, Mr. Corbett? My name is McCall. Thank you for your offer of help.
Let me know how much you need.
I will after I've talked it over with this gentleman tonight. You see, he's going to contribute most of it.
See you later, John. Just like Corbett. He's always doing something good for the town. He's on my side, too, to house Rand and Ludlow.
Is that so?
Yes?
Forget about Rufus. He can't prove a thing. It's that marshal he sent for this bother on me. Ned, don't let Rufus out of your sight. Report any strangers seen talking to him. Understand?
Yeah.
It's a cinch that marshal will contact Rufus the first thing. Well, we'll know it when he does. The rest is up to you, Ludlow.
Don't worry. He did all right with the last 4 sheriffs.
Julie Todd's down in my office waiting for Ray Mason to bring in that Midas shipment for transfer to my freight line. She's expecting me back.
She'll wait a long time for Ray. Yeah, Bill and Pete ought to have his high grade up at Corbett by now. He'll be blowing in here any minute.
Well, I'll check with you later.
What's those? Looks like a load of coffins.
Correct you are, gentlemen. Made of the finest redwood. And I also have genuine silver-plated handles, which I rent for the services. Folks find it cheaper that way.
I take it you're an undertaker, then.
You take it right, sir. Hopkins is the name. Sandy Hopkins. And from what I hear, this town has need of me, and bad, too. What with men cashing in their chips, natural-like and otherwise.
Yes, mostly otherwise.
So I've here now. You know it ain't Christian-like for a man not to have a decent burial, especially when he has no choice about going.
Well, now, those are my sentiments exactly, Mr. Hopkins. My name is McCall. You and I might be of some help to each other. Mr. McCall is a minister.
Oh?
And this is Mr. Todd, owner of the town's newspaper, the Gold Creek News.
Oh, a newspaper man, eh? Mr. Todd, just as soon as I consummate the deal to rent this store, I'll come over and pay you a visit. Because I want to take a full-page ad to let all the folks know that they can have a good burial in peace and comfort.
Sorry, Mr. Hopkins. There isn't any newspaper anymore.
You see, Mr. Todd's paper was recently dynamited.
Dirty work, eh? Well, don't you worry. As soon as I get set up in business, we'll find a way out. Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I'll go and find Mr. Rand and arrange to get moved in. Look me up later, will you, Parson?
I will, thank you. Good day, sir.
Hey.
Good day, sir.
Good day to you, Mr. Todd.
Give me a hand, will you, old-timer?
Holy smokes, it's young Mason. Better run and tell Miss Julie she's down there in Corbett's office.
Some brandy, bartender. Yeah. Come on, move on, partner. Come on, get out of there. Take yours. Yeah. Looks like we got that high grade. Hurry up with that brandy.
Let me at it. Now, let me at it. I'm Sandy Hopkins, Undertaker Deluxe.
Oh, get back. He's not dead yet.
No?
Give me that brandy. Come here. Where'd you find him, stranger?
About 5 miles back. We heard he took a job hauling high grade for the Midas mine.
Yeah, we heard that, too.
He's coming, too.
Ray! Ray, dear. Mr. Corbett, you've been shot.
It's only a flesh wound, Miss Julie.
What happened? Are you all right?
I guess so. Men jumped me in Eagles Pass. They shot me and I fell off the wagon. I don't remember what happened after that.
Well, this stranger found your kid and brought you in.
That's right, but he didn't see any sign of a wagon.
Boy, them dirty, low-down gold robbers, I'll bet you.
Then they got my Midas high grade.
Mr. Corbett, help me get him down to the house.
Take it easy, boy. Think you can make it all right?
Yes.
We got the Midas stuff, but some fella, a stranger on a white horse, stole it from us.
That's him over there now.
Kinda looks like the drinks are on you fellas. What did you do with that high grade? Who wants to know? We do. If you want to get out of here alive, you better start talking. Maybe you better start talking. Well, you take things pretty easy, don't you? Yeah. Bartender, give me sarsaparilla.
Pardon me, my good man. I'm looking for a Mr. Rand. Could you point him out to me?
One with the gent's outfit.
Oh, thank you so much.
Something's liable to happen to you for this. Nothing's gonna happen to me as long as I got that high grade, and you know it.
Pardon me. Have I the honor of addressing Mr. Rand, the Mr. Rand?
That's me.
I take it you're the gentleman that has the store for rent across the street?
Can't you see I'm busy? Come back some other time.
See you boys later.
Now, Mr. Rand, in regards to that store...
What do you want with that store?
Well, you see, I just drove into town this morning with a full load of coffins. My name is Hopkins. Sandy Hopkins, undertaker deluxe. Naturally, I have to have a place to set up where I may do business.
I guess we could use an undertaker dad, couldn't we?
Yeah, give me a drink.
Yeah, you can have the store. $20 a month. Now get out of here. I'm busy.
If your father was right and we could pin those gold robberies on Rand and Ludlow, I'd go after them myself. Especially after what they did to us today.
Never mind the bonus, darling. We can be thankful they didn't kill you.
Yeah, I guess I was pretty lucky at that. Say, what happened to that stranger? You know, I never did get a chance to thank him.
Dad was asking me about him, too, but he just seemed to vanish.
By the way, where'd your father go?
Down to what's left of the newspaper. He's hoping that Marshal he sent for might show up there tonight, but I'm beginning to think he's not coming.
I hope you're wrong, honey, because we sure do need him.
If Dad doesn't come back soon, maybe you better go down and get him. Oh, it breaks his heart every time he goes down there and sees what they did to his press.
I will.
Be careful. Good evening, Mr. Todd.
What's good about it?
My, they certainly did make a mess out of this place. I was just straightening up my new store, and I thought you could come over and we'd talk about that ad.
Mr. Hopkins, I can't do a thing about it. Look what they've done to my press.
Why, they certainly put you out of business, didn't they?
Yes, they did. It took weeks to haul that press overland from Kansas. I'll never get another one. Took all the money I had to set up this paper and try and make it grow.
Yeah, cheer up, Mr. Todd. It could be worse. Now just take death, for instance. What could be worse than not being fully prepared for the grim reaper?
What's that got to do with
everything? Now, you weren't prepared for this catastrophe, were you? No. And you feel mighty bad about it, don't you? Of course you do. Well, now just think how bad you'd feel when you're dead and all my coffins are gone. And you haven't taken advantage of this golden opportunity to select one of my form-fitting coffins, which would fit you like a glove.
Mr. Hopkins, when I'm dead, I won't feel anything.
Don't be too sure about that, Mr. Todd.
Besides, I've got to meet a friend.
Mr. Todd, if he's about your age, bring him along. We might do a little business. You know, Mr. Todd, I feel that my establishment will add prestige to the growing town of Gold Creek.
But I'm in no position to handle any of it.
Well, maybe not now, but we can talk that over.
Hello, Ray.
Is everything all right, Mr. Todd?
Oh, yes, except that he's gambling with Providence. I understand that you are to be his son-in-law.
Yes, sir.
Well, as long as you're going to be in the family, you might as well come in and help him pick out what he looked best in. Come right in. Now, this is my... Of course, I haven't got so much in here now, but I anticipate a lot of business. I'm going to increase the stock later on. But I'm sure out of the selection here that we can find something that will suit you and fit you. There. Now, just take it easy. Will you hold the end of that string just a moment there? Now, just let it come down just a mite. There. Just a mite. There. That's just right for you,
Yes,
Mr.
but
Todd. I know. But that is a fine box. That's made out of seasoned redwood. Of course, I can't guarantee it to be waterproof, but I know that it's termite-proof. Then, as I told you, you can have these silver handles. As I told you, there's just a slight rental charge on them. And you can have either 4 or 6. You look like about a 4-handle man to me. Then I unscrew them and put them back in stock after the service is on. You know, Mr. Todd, I can make you a mighty fine deal on this box. I know that you'd be mighty happy in it.
But I don't want it. I wouldn't like it if it was lined with plush and filled with gold.
Lined with plush? Well, I haven't got any that's lined with plush or filled with gold. But I have got something that'll fill your heart with joy. Hello.
Mr. Todd, it's a press.
A press?
And now, look here.
And paper stuff.
Now, you just stand behind him and brace him there for a minute, Bub. Take a gander at this, Mr. Todd.
Type and everything. Just what I've been praying for.
Pays to do that sometimes, don't it?
No!
Now, wait a minute. Steady there, Ray, steady.
Well, I guess it's the first time for everything. What a trip. I guess that kind of put you back in business, doesn't it, old-timer?
Well, Buck, you old son of a gun. You pretty near scared the life out of me. Ray, this is Buck Roberts, my friend, the United States Marshal.
Hiya, Ray.
Hello, he's the man that brought me in.
Huh? What? You got me all mixed up.
Hey, listen, you ought to know better than let anything I do throw you. How you been outside of having trouble, old-timer?
Oh, just fine, and raring for a fight.
You looked at just a minute ago.
But how about him and...
Oh, and the preacher?
Yeah, how come you're running around with death and religion?
I don't. They're both pals of mine, United States Marshals.
Marshals?
Gee, that's great.
I figured I could use them, but that get-up's their own idea. What an undertaker.
Well, I'm as good-looking undertaker as you are an outlaw.
Outlaw, I don't get this.
What's he talking about?
Well, I'll tell you. I got your high grade.
Huh?
What?
That's right. I took it off of the Rand and Ludlow gang just 5 minutes after they took it away from you.
Oh.
Sounds funny, doesn't it? Using it for bait, you know, to get in good with the gang.
Oh, wait till I tell Julie about this. Hey, do you mind? I can come back later if you need me.
I won't need you. Go right ahead. Gone, that's a lot of machinery. And we got to put it together tonight. And you're going to get out a newspaper in the largest type you got. And promise to expose in your next edition the brains back of Rand and Ludlow.
Wait a minute, Buck. Rand and Ludlow are it. There isn't anybody else.
Ah, they're only half of it. Besides, they haven't got sense enough to operate a deal like this. There's somebody else back of it giving the orders and covering them up. And you're going to smoke them out in the open with this newspaper.
How do you get it?
Yeah, I guess so.
And you're going to do it right here because it's the last place in the world they'll ever look for a newspaper operating.
That's why when Buck wired me to bring some printing machinery, I put it in them boxes. Because I figured that the last place that folks like to stick their nose is in a coffin. As a rule.
You're real friends, both of you.
Hey, what about yourself? Oh, come on. Let's quit throwing flowers and get this machinery together.
What are you doing here, my friend? Thinking of making a coffin selection ahead of time?
Yeah, I kind of believe in doing my own picking, but I guess that new undertaker ain't around yet.
Well, there's just one way to find out. We'll knock on the door. Come on.
Cover him up quick.
Mr. Hopkins. Oh, Mr. Hopkins.
Yes?
There you see. Knocking generally brings results.
Good evening, Parson McCall. I was so busy I didn't hear you knock.
I have a customer for you. I found him wandering about outside. I think he was trying to find out if you were in.
Well, I'm in all right, and very busy. I have another customer in the back room there. Won't you come in?
No, I'll come back tomorrow if you're busy.
Well, why wait, my friend? Never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Well, Mr. Todd, I see you're making a selection also.
Yes, I thought I might just as well be prepared. Seeing as how some folks in this town think I'm a sort of a nuisance. But I don't like this one. Hey, Ed, come here. Just a minute. That's right. There. Just your size, Ed.
Yeah, you can put that aside for me. Well, I guess I'll take off now.
What's your hurry? Get his gun, Sandy. Seeing he's so interested in what we're doing, he might stick around and give us a hand.
Why, sure.
You think of everything, don't you, Buck?
Doesn't he, though?
Hey, what is this?
You'll find out. You're going to help set up a printing press and get a paper out by morning.
So get busy and give the editor a hand. It won't be healthy if you get any other ideas.
Now, don't crowd him too fast, Tim. Give him a chance to roll up his sleeves. You know, this job's just made for a strong back and a weak mind. That's you. Get that cinch off there. Hurry up, whip into it now. Over there with you.
You two are crazy to let him get away. Why didn't you make a deal with him then and there? We'd have that load of Midas high grade by now. We wouldn't have to ship out a load of rocks in the morning.
Take it easy, Corbett. He had us on the spot. Fine chance we had of pinning him down. He said he'd look us up, and he will. He has to. He knows that. How can you get a load of high grade out of town without the cover up of your freight line?
Well, if he said he'd look you up and make a deal, what are you wasting time here for? Get going. Wait a minute. You found out anything about that United States Marshal that Todd's expecting?
Don't worry. No government man's going to make a move without seeing Todd first. Ed's watching him.
Well, I hope so. Pete, get that load of high grade ready for my freighter in the morning. You two wait here till I get out of here.
I'm just about fed up with him with his high-handed ways. So am I.
Now, all right, lame brain. Just move it down here just about 2 inches. Now, come on there. There. Little bit more. A little bit. No, no, you're too fur. Take it back. Now, and I want it level when you... There.
There you are.
Steady.
How does it read?
That's fine. That ought to do the trick, all right.
I want you to get that out as soon as you can, Rufus. Have your next edition set up and typed, ready to go, with the exception of the name, and I'll get that to you in plenty of time. I want that edition to get out the first thing in the morning.
It'll be ready, all right. But I still think you're chasing someone who don't exist. Rand and Ludlow are the ones.
Maybe you're right, but I'm still pretty lucky with my hunches. Suppose we go through with this one.
All right, Buck. I'll do anything you say. You know that.
You better shove off, Tim.
No. I'll take this front door.
See you in a few minutes.
Right.
Anything else we can do, Rufus?
No, we'll be ready to go as soon as I set this up. So long, Buck, and I hope it works.
I hope so, too. Listen, Sandy, keep him moving. It might loosen up his tongue a bit.
I ain't talking to nobody.
Yet.
You said her, Buck.
Has Mr. Rand come in yet?
No, he hasn't, Parson.
That his office back there?
Yeah.
When he comes in, tell him I'll be waiting for him in there.
Sure, I'll tell him. Expect him back in a minute.
Well, anything happen around here tonight?
That Parson's been in here several times. He's back there now waiting for you.
Gonna build that church?
Hello, boys. After taking all the trouble of sneaking in the back door, try and pay you fellas a visit, who do I find here? An old friend of mine. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Ludlow. Especially after I just got through doing you a favor and figuring on doing you another.
Take it easy. What is this? What do you mean, an old friend?
You don't mean to tell me you two don't know this mug over here? United States Marshal Tim McCall. Using that old parson gag again.
A marshal?
That's right.
Rufus Todd's friend.
Oh, no wonder he backed him up this morning. Trying to run us into a trap, huh?
So he did have you stringing along, too, huh? Come pulling the same gag on me back in Kansas. Only I was too smart for him.
Who the devil are you?
I must be slipping. You mean that? Did you ever hear of Rocky Saunders?
Holy smoke. He's the fellow they've been trying to stop for 2 years. Smuggling and train robbing all over the South.
Yeah, that's right. All the way from Kansas to California.
All right, Saunders. We want that high grade. What's your deal?
Sit down. My deal? I'm cutting in on this setup, and I'm giving the orders.
What do you mean you're giving the orders?
Just what I said, giving the orders. I never go into one of these deals unless I'm running. You fellas have freight connections that I can use. We split 50-50, take it or leave it.
Well, that sounds fair enough. You got a plan?
Why, sure. First plan is, how are we going to get rid of this saddle flatfoot over here so he'll keep out of our way? You got a hideout, haven't you?
Why not take him out in the canyon?
Oh, no, I'm smart to that. I want to save him from myself. Something personal, you know.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, we got a hideout. We'll take him up the hill.
Yeah.
Now you're logging. I'll go along with you just as soon as we're finished here. How about that high grade? Supposing I meet you at Eagle Pass sun up in the morning.
Is that where you got the stuff hid?
Oh, you're after information, huh? Maybe.
Well, I guess that settles everything. Now we'll get him out of here.
Now, wait a minute. Just one more thing. I know you fellas are smart. You got a lot of brains, but you haven't got brains enough to run a big shebang like this. Now, there's somebody with freight connections that's giving the orders. Who is he?
You're pretty smart, aren't you, Saunders?
That's why I'm going into this deal. And that's why I want to close the deal with him. Savvy?
All right. We'll have him at Eagle Pass at sunup. You can close your deal personally with him if that's the way you want it.
Suits me. Get up, Sky Pilot.
Get his horse out in front and bring it around and back with ours.
Outside. The back way. Oh, is this the hideout?
Yeah, mine.
I see. Not a bad layout. Come on, get off of that horse. I'm going to take that gag off of him now and listen to him squawk. Start, officer.
You gave me the slip once, Saunders. But I'll get you this time if you travel clear to the other side of the globe. I'll make you crawl back.
Says you. What'd I tell you? Come on, get inside.
Fellas, this is Rocky Saunders. He's putting up here and he's working with us. So, Joe, you give him what he wants and help him keep an eye on the marshal.
Sure. Get a rope and I'll try and speed up. Get down there, Sky Pilot.
Make yourself comfortable, Marshal. See you at sunup, Rocky.
Be there.
You two be down at saloon at sunup for orders.
Tell the boys what to do.
Yeah?
Bill, tell that lookout up on the hill there about Saunders.
All right, boss.
Let's get back to town.
Out here. These hands of yours, how do they feel?
I'm sore.
There you are. Be all right in a minute. Say, listen, you better keep that rope on your feet. That guard out the door is liable to be back in here any minute.
All right, I'll stay put. Of course, this place was a mine. You realize that, don't you?
Kind of looks like it, but it doesn't seem like it's been worked in a long time.
I'd feel safer if I had my gun.
Here you are. Wait a minute. Jim, take a look at this. Nothing but dirt and rock. What do you make of it? I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be the Corbett mine. And if it is, one more yap out of you and I'll kick your teeth down your throat.
How you doing? That guy behaving himself?
Oh, pretty much. He's not so tough. You better peek in once in a while, though. I'm going to slip back into town and see that newspaper friend of his.
Not a bad idea. He's causing us plenty of grief.
So I understand. Say, what is this, high grade?
Yeah.
Looks like you're going to have a shipment pretty soon.
The boys will haul it down to town at sunup.
Swell. I just want to tell you, if that fella in there gets tough, don't pay any attention to him. He's perfectly harmless. You'll be all right. You won't have to watch him very much.
How about getting down to the hotel and telling Corbett?
I've decided we're not letting them in on this until it's all over, until we got the Midas ore.
But you promised Saunders to produce Corbett.
Why should we? The 6 of us can handle him after I've stalled him out of that high grade.
A bad idea.
And after we finish him off, we'll wipe out the Marshal, and then we'll dictate to Corbett. He's run things too long to suit me.
I'll line up the boys for sunup.
I'm getting worried. It's so late.
Oh, there's nothing to worry about, honey. Didn't your father say so when he slipped down here a while ago? Everything's going fine. Look, suppose you get off to bed while I sit tight here for orders from Marshal Roberts. Please, now, be a good girl.
All right.
That's better.
You let me know if you hear anything.
I promise.
How you doing, Sandy?
Fine.
Rube! Rube, here's Buck. Here, come on, Rube.
There you are, Buck. All finished. And there's the type set up for the next edition, all but the name.
That's a perfect job, Rube.
How'd you and Tim make out?
Swell. Listen, Sandy, you're going to pass these things around. Come on.
Sure.
Here you are, newsboy. Here, Rube. You set tight, old timer. See you after sunup.
All right, Buck.
And Ray Mason will take care of the rest of it. Listen, Sandy, you slip those under the windows and under the doors and everywhere. I'll give the kiddies orders. Give me a couple.
I'll get her done, Buck.
Where's Ed?
I don't know.
He didn't show up at the barn last night either. Now, he's probably drunk somewhere as usual. Take a look at this. Why, it ain't possible his press is still in pieces. Well, it's a newspaper, and you're reading it, aren't you?
I know. I bet you're tired of the new press in Mesa City. He hasn't been around much for almost a week.
That might be it. Well, if he has, he won't be alive to print the next edition. Come on, let's get out and meet Sanders before the whole town wakes up and reads this stuff.
You know what to do, Sandy?
Do it.
Go on.
Is that all of it? Yeah. You better get rolling with that wagon. The boss wants you to pull through town before too many people are about.
I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Well, changed your mind about taking on some of this grub?
No, thanks.
What are you wishing? You were on that wagon getting out of here?
I'd much prefer a horse.
I'll bet you would.
Drop that gun. Drop it. Now untie my feet. Hurry up.
Get him up. You're gonna have time to smoke that cigarette, Bob. Get up on your feet.
Outside. Go ahead.
How you making out, Tim?
Fine, Sandy. How you doing up there?
All right, tolerable.
Well, then come on down here.
I'm a-coming. You're here and get knocking on it. Get on your 2 feet.
Here. Snap that on your wrist. Now hook the other one around the handle of that car. Well, you won't drag that very far.
It's hard to believe that Corbett's the man that the marshal suspects.
Yeah, we're going to find out right now. Look, over at the hotel. He's heading straight for the saloon. Right for Rand and Ludlow.
And he certainly looks worried.
Sure he does.
Rand and Ludlow ate upstairs. They rode out a while ago with the boys.
Where'd they go?
I don't know.
Well, take off that apron and go out there and find Rufus Tood.
Todd? Why?
Never mind why. He's hiding out somewhere in this town. I want to know where. And keep it on the QT. Go out there and find him and come back and tell me.
Sure.
That'll keep him put all right.
Well, it ought to. Well, come on along, Sandy. Buck may need a hand.
All right.
What's the idea? This ain't the place. It's a mile ahead.
Which one's the big boss?
I told you he'd meet us at Eagles Pass.
Well, let's go ahead then.
Wait a minute, Ryan.
Quit stalling. Where's Corbett?
Stick him up, Saunders. We don't aim, that's any of your business. You thought you were pretty smart figuring that one out, didn't you?
Any fool could figure out the Corbett mine wasn't worth anything once you saw it.
Maybe not. But it works for us, and it's going to keep on working for us. Now get going and lead us to that high grade.
There they are. They're headed for the riverbed. You bear off to the left, and I'll head this way. We'll cut them off.
You said it.
kid said that Green was scared to death, and he done just what you expected.
Thanks. That means that Corbett will be after the old-timer, huh?
Yeah.
Well, here's about the last of them. Thanks, Tim. Sandy, you take care of them.
All right. Get up there, Mr. Rand. You remember when I said I'd see you later? Much later? Well, this is it. Now get your hands up and start marching.
Dad and me, but he hasn't shown up.
Well, that's funny. I just saw him right out of town a while ago.
You did? Well, I guess we'll just have to go ahead without him. Thanks, Charlie.
He's in that undertaker's store. The gal just tipped it off. She started in and saw me and then stalled out.
Come in, John. Been kind of expecting you. That's why I left the door unlocked.
So this is where you're printing your paper now, huh?
That's right. You read the last edition?
Yes, I read it. It says you're going to name the man behind Rand and Ludlow.
You're right again. I'm setting the type now. C O R.
You won't finish that, Rufus.
B E T.
Dad! My friend! Dad, are you all right?
Corbett's dead.
I'm sorry it had to be someone you thought was your friend. Take it easy.
What happened in there?
What happened, I've got to give the people what I promised in the next edition.
Dad, you're in no condition.
What was our shooting?
We certainly appreciate what you've done for us, Buck.
You can bet we'll keep a double guard on that rotten bunch in there.
That's fine. I'll send some men from Carson City to take them off of your hands. Well, I guess we got to be shoving along.
I suppose you're going to your place in Arizona.
That's right.
And I'm heading back for Wyoming.
And I'm shoving off for Texas.
For Texas.
Right is right, beware. Right is right, they care. They're the finest bunch of fighters in the land, chasing every rustler and guerrilla man. The rough riders watch the trail, the rough riders near.